Hi guys, I'd like to welcome each and every one of us to my channel of Honest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. And I'd like to encourage members to kindly subscribe and also engage us in the comment section so that we can have a discussion on the various topics that we are, of course, are going to do. Now, in this case, we're going to look at the concept of the mean deviation about the mode. And as we had mentioned from our discussion, of course, the concept of the mean deviation constitutes a measure of our dispersion. Whereby, of course, it's going to be depending on the specific type of average which is going to be used. Now, in our previous video, I mentioned the concept of the mean deviation about the mean, and given that one using the initials of this specific representation of the mean deviation of the mean given as such. And I said that for this case, we are going to consider two cases for the frequency distribution and, of course, for the group data in that particular case. Now, we are given a representation or the formula for giving this specific type of course, the deviation, whereby we say this is going to be the difference between the average and, of course, this specific set of data. And we're going to have absolute value of that one divided by the total number of observations given as such. Now, for our frequency distribution, we have said the mean deviation about the mean can be given in terms of this specific representation, whereby we say that we are going to consider the classes given as k, and this is going to be constituting the particular frequency that we're going to use, and of course the difference between those distribution or deviation from the mean given as such, and this is going to be all over of course the number of total number of observations given as such. In this case, for today, we are going to look at the mean deviation about the mode, and this is going to be the second average that we are going to consider apart from the mean that we have looked at in our first case, and therefore we are going to see how we are going to represent this specific concept of the mean value about the mode in this particular case. Now, we are given a representation for the mode from our previous discussion using this specific notation. And therefore, that's what I'm going to use in trying to represent this. So similarly, from the concept of of course, the mean, of course, the mean deviation about the mean, this is going to be given in terms of x with that hat given as such, implying the mean deviation about the mode. And this is going to be the summation between 1 and n of the values of xi minus the mode given as such, and we're going to find the absolute value of those specific differences, and then have it divided by the number of observations given as such. And in our second case, as we said, we can consider the case of a frequency distribution, and the mean deviation about the mode, then therefore is going to be given as the summation between I is equivalent to 1 to k. And then we're going to have this one multiplied by the specific frequency, and then the absolute value of that one divided by the number of observations given as such. And of course, as we said, that this is going to constitute of a number of steps in order for us to calculate, by first finding this specific aspect of the mode. So we shall, given a specific range of data, first we are going to calculate what we refer to as the mode. Then secondly, we're going to find the deviation of these specific values of xi from the mode, which are of course going to constitute the absolute value as I've said. And lastly, then therefore we're going to find the arithmetic mean of the deviations by trying to ignore the specific sign in that particular case. Now, in this case, this is going to constitute a procedure for finding the mean deviation about the mode. And this is going to be a second part of the averages from the first one that I of course mentioned in the introductory part of this specific video concerning the mean. Now, in our subsequent video, we're going to look at a specific example, perhaps using the various averages which I've mentioned, of course, in trying to evaluate various aspects of the mean deviation about the mean deviation about the mode, and other averages which we're going to see. So kindly check our description boxes for various links of other similar videos, and also subscribe and engage us in the comment section for more. So that is it for now, guys. Bye, God bless you. Catch us in our next video.